First, spells. We've got 2 Dark Fogs, Yearn, and Homeward. Right, so now that we have Gnar Alma Robes, our next priority is to get our weapons upgraded. We want a plus 10 Black Bow, we want a plus 10 Ricard's Rapier, and we want a plus 10 the Old Knight's Hammer. So we need a lot of materials. Let's go into Brightstone. There are a bunch of good upgrade materials out here, especially chunks. By the end of the split, we'll be 13 chunks richer. So let's get to it. We're going to set up our TSR with the Sanctum Mace. Trigger this rock. Kill these 2. And we'll fire an arrow down here to get these guys moving in the spike pit, so they'll be clear for us later. Excellent. So they're all going to die to the spikes now. And now for a very slick Dark Fog strat. Here we go. We're going to stand at the middle of this cobblestone patch, right at the edge of it. Right about here. Aim a Dark Fog at the guy next to the rock. I'll poison the guy at the rock. The other guy will fall down and be killed by the rock. Boom. So now they're both clear. Then we'll come up here to the top left edge of the staircase. Fire another Dark Fog at the nearest guy. Wait a bit for stamina and fire another Dark Fog at the corner on the ground. And fall back. That'll poison all 4 of them. Clean. Alright, and then next we're going to go get that free 5k soul up there. So speaking of souls, we should probably talk about Rotten. We've got Gnar Alma Robes now. We could have plus 10 Ricards as soon as the end of the split. And we can buy 9 more aesthetics from Grendel. So we could go farm all the Rottens we want whenever we feel like it. But I'm not going to because it's just not necessary. We've already farmed 1 extra Rotten. More would give us a nice chunk of extra endurance for the mid game, or maybe get us up to 80 dex earlier for a nice damage boost against the likes of Felstad or Ancient Dragon. But the gap closes as we near late game. 3 extra Rottens now will only be worth about 15 levels tops at endgame. So it might not be, all that farming might not be quite as impactful as you might expect. But it is still a nice mid-game boost, and you could ignore a lot of the souls pickups along the way. But don't skip the spices. The spices are worth levels, and levels get expensive. Don't skip those. But yeah, so I totally support players who elect to do some more Rotten farming. In this demo, however, we're going to stay on 5 Rottens just to kind of show what that looks like. And we'll get plenty of souls along the way as we're clearing out the game. We should be fine. Here we go. Go into Congregation. We'll yearn past those 3 enemies by the door. Congregation should be pretty easy in this run. We've got Dark Fog and Yearn and a good bow. We'll go down fast. Plan is to run through between the pews for some cover from the first few shots. Turn in Dark Fog just about it. We'll get ship poison nearly everything. We'll get behind the pews for cover from the mages because they can't shoot their lightning bolts over the pews very easily. And switch to our bow to clear out Magus and then the mages, and then that should be just about it. That should be just about it. So Fog, then Yearn, then bow. Here we go. Go over here, turn and Fog right into the middle of everything. Toss a Yearn up into the corner. Switch to that bow. Okay, we'll dodge Magus' shots. He can shoot over the pews, so you gotta watch for him. Yeah, these mages are really bad at attacking over these pews, so we have pretty good cover here. Alright, Yearn kept the little guys busy, plenty of time to finish off the mages, and that's it, GG. Okay. Then equip Cat Ring over Artisar, because we're not really going to need Artisar for a while. We'll light our torch. Now we're going to Freja. Start by picking up the Skeptic Spice and Bonfire Ascetic. Again, spices are worth levels, do not skip. We'll grab those. We'll skip most of the loot here for now. We really just want the fire resins for Freja. And we shouldn't really need to worry about the torches, but I'll pick that up anyway. Alright, now we're going to wait here for a bit while the guys in the pit continue to die. Yeah, they still got some health to burn down. So we'll knock this guy down and grab this chunk. One of many chunks we'll be collecting in Brightstone. And then we'll just wait here for a moment, set up our equipments. Because we've got a torch in our offhand, we need to move our catalysts to main hand. And that should be fine. Already homeward bones. Guys, he's almost dead. We'll give him another couple seconds. In here now, buddy. Okay, let's go. That should be close enough. As long as he doesn't get out of this fight pit and come after us, we're fine. Okay, so we're going to drop down here. Race through the door, race through the room. Because we have a torch, the spiders won't attack us, but they will attack the destructible things around us. Okay, no forlorn. Great. We can homeward out, but it's still annoying. Yeah, you might have to set up RTSR again. You gotta remember to relight your torch. Don't forget that. It's nice not have to worry about that. Let's clear the spiders with fire bombs. Have a few torches if you want them. I'll knock down this guy with the firebomb. Grab this large shard real quick. And then we'll go meet him at the door. Take him out with a few more firebombs. That will do. Okay. Pick up another chunk over here. We're going into the spike pit for another 3 chunks and a shard. Very nice. Also a slab. Slab's good too. If your health is too low for this and you're concerned, you can equip Ring of Restoration. But we got plenty, we'll be fine. And yeah, obligatory spike's not a hit. It's environmental. Okay. Pick up some poison arrows here. 10k soul and 4 resins over here. We're actually not going to buy a single resin in this entire run. So those are pretty nice. If we get a lot of spiders, we could try to fog the spiders if they group up a lot, which they kind of did just now for a little bit. The dark fog can work to poison them, but it usually takes 2 casts, so it's not always worth. Just gonna check firebombs at him. All this guy through the door. Gets poisoned to death. And let's get up here and prepare for Freja. We are gonna want fire resins ready to go. We're gonna need Lens Ring. And that's really all we want. Okay. Yearn is ready. Let's go. We'll run through over here. Gentle drops down the spider webs. And we'll head over here. This is a twilight herb, which is nice to have, but not strictly necessary. You could skip it. The next one is a simpleton spice. We're going to cast another Yearn. Keep the peasants busy while we grab this thing. Spices are valuable. Do not skip. Okay. And now it's time for Freja. Run over here. Up our fire resin. She always starts with the first attack, so you're pretty safe to just kind of get out of the way on the side and buff up. Switch your rings. And now we're just going to bait lasers and run around her. Helps if you hit. However, it's fine. Just get far away from her, and pretty much the only thing she can do is a laser. Laser always sweeps, what's that, counterclockwise? Very predictable. Very easy to run around and get a few quick pokes. Do pretty good damage. And if he does something else, just kind of get out of the way to the side, you should be fine. One thing she can do that we really don't like is jump. It jumps around the arena, we could be in trouble. But we have a lot of DPS, so we should kill her long before it becomes a real problem. Down she goes. Get those robes. Ring. Excellent. Right now, we embrace the Great Soul. Do not forget that. That is necessary to fight Aldia. And then we're going to go light the Primal Bonfire, which I think is also necessary for Aldia, but I could be wrong. Regardless, it's easy to do. And we kind of want this Fragrant Branch anyway. Fragrant Branches are nice to have. We might get some use out of that. Can't remember if it's actually required. In any case, we got it. We light the Primal Bonfire. And now we're going to homeward out. But we're not done here. It's time to go back for all of those chunks. I'm going to begin by coming over here to snipe this mage. We'll keep our TSR, get the cat ring ready, so we don't die to its full damage. You can also just kind of drop onto these pots, and that you should take very little damage even without the cat ring. Let's prepare this again. Okay. Actually, no. Let's just get these back to normal. Excuse me. And we want the Craftsman's Hammer for this. Alright, so with RTSR, we can one-shot this lizard. Boom. There's another chunk. I'll come over for the other lizard. This one can be a little tricky to get sometimes, but it's pretty worth going after. And there's a chunk over here. We already got the chunk, but in the next few times we won't. So, a bit of practice on this lizard won't go wrong. Just want to kind of push your camera, look around, sprint out, lock on, and smack. That's Twinkling Titanite and a couple large shards. It's pretty nice, because we are going to need Twinkling in this run. We need to get to 15. Alright, now we ready our Homer Bone, and we'll go over for the final chunk here. Drop down, collect it, and bone out before this enemy shot reaches you. Should have plenty of time. Yeah, we're well clear. Alright, one last thing. This part is optional. Could skip, but we're gonna do it. Cat ring's still on, so we'll drop down over here, no worries. We're gonna roll through the pots over here for a couple of liquid dusk herbs. Very nice spell restoring item. We probably don't need that many, but there's also 2k soul here on the way out, so it's pretty quick, kind of worth. You could skip them. Up to you. Alright, now we're going to burn an ascetic and loot it again. Alright, torch is still active, so we'll go do this again one more time. Again, this part is optional, could skip, but it's going to get us a lot of wilted dusk herbs. And those are nice. Okay, now I'm going to rest to make sure those spiders are reset, so they don't bother me. We'll head over here, snipe this mage again. Now, because we're at Bonfire Intensity 2, we can't one-shot the lizard anymore. We're going to use Flynn's Ring so we can get the 2-shot. We do not need to set up RTSR, which is nice because that's kind of slow. So, 2-shot lizard. Boom. There's another Titanite chunk. We'll go and get another few fire resins. We're going to be picking up a lot of fire resins, more than we really need, but extras never hurt. Once again, kind of twist your camera first, run out, lock on, smack, smack. And kind of tricky, but 2 large shards is worth 5k souls, and we also need the twinkling, so it's pretty worth. And we need that chunk anyway. All right, one more chunk. And we're out. And now we're gonna go do it again. Oops. Burn another aesthetic. And just repeat. It's gonna be exactly the same. Loot it all over again. Mage. Prep the hammer. Level up this lizard. A few more fire resins. We're never going to run out now. Double tap lizard. One more chunk over here. And go back for the final chunk. And homeward out. And that will be nearly all. We can go get the other Wilted Dusk Herbs and 2k soul again if we like. I suppose we should. Alright, so let's just do this one last time, and then we are done. Next split. Okay, moving on.